need a survival kit for this holiday season? Well, I am here to help you. I think as we enter into 2020 Christmas season, there's so many unknowns. There's a lot of us that can't spend the holidays with our relatives like we always have. There's a lot of us that don't have anybody to spend holidays with, and so it feels like very isolating this holiday season. So I want to give you just a couple quick tips to help you prepare for this holiday season according to your Enneagram number. You can call it your survival guide to 2020 Christmas season. So if you're an Enneagram 1, I think it's so important for you this season to have a plan, to have an agenda, to know what's expected, but most of all, to give yourself a little bit of margin. What does margin look like? A little bit of space, a little extra time, so you're not running frantically around the house trying to throw everything in the guest room or your bedroom when company is coming, or maybe it's the last minute baking and you thought you had everything but you didn't. And so, and maybe for a one, you're like, that would never happen. I have a list and I know what I'm doing. That's awesome. But if you find yourself a little bit off kilter this holiday season, make sure that you have an agenda. Make sure you have some margin. And also, how can you show empathy and compassion to the people around you that don't quite function like you do, that maybe are coming in right out of left field, right? And you feel like, what in the world? How come they don't have their stuff together? Just remember, not everybody thinks about things the way that you do. Not everybody looks to the future and plans the way that you do. However, for you, it brings calm and peace to your soul. And so that's what we want to focus on this holiday season. What brings you joy? What brings you peace? And for you, it's setting an agenda. And then the flip side of that is having some empathy and compassion for people that are not quite the same as you. As a 2, I think it's so important for you to say what you need this holiday season. You might need a little bit of time with the grandkids, or you might need a little bit of time with your spouse, or you might need a little bit of time with your friends. Whatever this is, if you can go ahead and ask for what you need. I have got a family member that they want to Zoom with us a lot during the COVID season that we have found ourselves in for way too long. But so she makes it a point to say, hey, when can we get on a family Zoom? So she says what she needs ahead of time, and then we all together figure out a time that works collectively for everybody. But I'd love for you as a 2 to think about what you need and to say what you need this holiday season. Also, for you to be mindful of the other people around you, which you already are. But for you to just understand that relationships are really, really important to you in the way that you function in those, but not everybody feels the same way. So have a little bit of empathy and compassion for people that look at life a little bit differently than you do. And maybe even through a lens of understanding instead of maybe correction, or if they would just do it this way, which we all have that lens that we just think, if you just do it this way, it would make so much sense. But that's the beauty of not all Enneagram numbers being alike. Is that we all have a unique lens in the way that we see the world, and it makes sense to us. So as a 2, say what you need this holiday season. Be mindful of your body needing rest. Be mindful of your body needing fun and entertainment and people. Be really mindful of what you need this season. As a 3, I would love for you to be mindful of other people this season and their need for your undivided attention. And so how can you give people your undivided attention? How can you finish your project so that you can set that agenda aside? How can you do these things so that people can feel that you're with them, not just in the room, but actually with them? So make it a point this holiday season to make connection with people in a real and meaningful way. Make it a point this holiday season to make eye contact and to also think about the other people's feelings in the room. It's not just about big projects and processes, but it's about people. And so as a 3, really knowing that it's going to be hard for you to put aside projects and focus on people, but that's part of the survival guide of the holiday. Understanding what you need in that. And also giving yourself some margin, a little bit like the 1, giving yourself some margin to do the things that you need, but also to enjoy this holiday season with the people that you care for. Now, if you're a 4, I think it's really important for you to do some self-reflecting in this holiday season, to be really mindful of what traditions do you want to carry on? What ones are you really annoyed with and get under your skin? What are the things that you care about this holiday season? What are the things that really mean a lot to you? Is it a Christmas movie? movie? Is it going to see lights? Is it playing games around the table with your family? What is it that makes this holiday season special for you? And make sure that you're incorporating those into whatever festivities you engage in. So really be mindful of what you need. Also be mindful of the people around you. They're doing the best that they can. And so everything is heightened during the season. Everybody's trying to figure out how to be the best they can, or maybe they're not, but how can you be the best you can in this very unprecedented 2020 Christmas season? I really want you to think about what you need and what means a lot to you personally, and then how can you articulate that in a way that is received so that you can get what you need out of the season as well. As a 5, I think the most important thing for you to do is to have an escape plan. And that may sound funny to some of you people, but as a 5, there needs to be a set time that it's okay for them to escape or for you to escape if you're a 5. So what does that look like for you to have an escape plan? It means that you are going to know when the festivities begin. You are going to know when it's okay for you to leave the table or for you to exit or for you to take a breather or a break. What does that look like? It's going to be really important for you to communicate this with somebody around you so that they don't think like that you're upset or something. Just that you need to have an exit plan. You need to have an exit strategy. I'm raising a 5. He's 18 years old, and I know that he needs to know the plan in advance, and he also needs to know that it's okay for him to exit the plan when is an appropriate time for him to have a break. I think that's so important for survival for a 5. Also be mindful of all the people in the room, and that they there might be lots of personalities, lots of craziness, lots of, maybe even conflict, or maybe it's fun, whatever it is in the environment. Just be mindful that all of these people have different views on the world and how they take in information and how they present themselves, and it's all okay. So just hold that in your hands very carefully, but be mindful of that as a 5. Now, as a 6, so important for you to set clear expectations, because you are going to get so frustrated if you don't. So clear expectations on your family, clear expectations on how things are going to go, clear expectations on even yourself. Like, what do you want to accomplish this holiday season? What do you want to accomplish this Christmas season with your family? Maybe it's that you want to start Advent, and that's really important to you, and you want to follow through with that through the season. So how can you do that? Or maybe, which you probably have already done that, but if you did start it and you put it down, maybe you can pick it back up. Maybe it's having, some type of special holiday tradition that you really want to start, or you want to continue to carry on. Having a plan on how you do this is going to help just calm your insides. It's going to really help bring some stability to who you are, and really help you to enjoy and engage in the family festivities if you have a plan. So I think that's really important for you as a 6, is to have a plan, but also be mindful of the other people within your plan. Let them have some say, let them have some input, and be mindful of their needs. Really understand the people that are in your bubble and what they need in this season as well. If you are a 7, I think it's so important for you to be mindful that not everybody wants to sing karaoke and be joyful and fun in this holiday season, even though you want to bring that everywhere you go. If you don't feel that in the room, it doesn't mean you did something wrong. Just be mindful of the room, be mindful of what people need, be mindful of the temperature of the surroundings that you find yourself in, and meet people where they're at, and bring joy and bring hope, but bring it in a soft-spoken way if that's what's called for in the situation. Be responsible, be reasonable. Those are really big things for a 7, responsible and reasonable of what can happen this season to keep everybody safe. Now, if you're an 8, I think it's really important for you to have a plan and agenda, for sure. I think that equally as important is for you to allow people into the plan and agenda. That it's not all about, this is how it's going to go because this is how it works in my mind, but you have a lot of other people to think about. And so allowing them to have an opinion, or allowing them to have a voice into situation, or allowing them to have a say in a new tradition or an old tradition, I think is going to be so important, that you take in the whole picture, you allow people to have a say in the whole picture, and you build a plan together as a family for you to be able to survive this very interesting holiday season. So as a 9, I think it's so important for you to take care of yourself. As a 9, you want to be a peace maker, right? Oftentimes you find yourself as a peacekeeper. Whatever we need to do to get along is fine. We'll just do it. But I want to challenge you this holiday season to be a peacemaker, which means you use your voice. And so what is that? What does that look like for you to be a peacemaker? What does that look like for you to allow other people to hear your opinions and agenda? How can you allow other people to hear your ideas, and how can you value yourself in those things? And so what do you need in this season? Allow yourself to speak those things. Be a peacemaker, not a peacekeeper in this beautiful holiday season. So I hope that you guys are surviving 2021 Christmas. I hope that you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope that if you find yourself alone in this holiday season, that you will reach out and you will text message somebody, you will email somebody, you will call somebody, you will FaceTime somebody, you will Zoom somebody, so that you can find some hope in this holiday season. I don't want you to be alone. I want you to be well cared for, and I want you to care for yourselves as well. So Merry Christmas and happy holidays from my house to yours. And I'm so thrilled that you've allowed me to be a part of your life this 2020. And I look forward to what the future holds.